We've got to be willing to step back and ask hard questions of ourselves. Separate yourselves and evaluate. Take inventory. Assess, am I more like the city of Babylon than I am the kingdom of God? Babylon is broken and bankrupt. Look at verses 14 through 18. They will make war on the Lamb, and the Lamb will conquer them, for he's Lord of lords and King of kings. And those with him are called and chosen and faithful. And the angel said to me, the waters that you saw where the prostitute is seated are the peoples and multitudes and nations and languages. And the 10 horns that you saw, they and the beast will hate the prostitute. Notice the cannibalizing when they're done with it. They will make her desolate and naked and devour her flesh and burn her up with fire. For God has put it into their hearts to carry out his purpose by being of one mind and handing over their royal power to the beast until the words of God are fulfilled. And the woman that you saw is the great city that has dominion over the kings of the earth. So here we have Babylon representing this great system of godlessness throughout the world. She's attractive and seductive, right? She's hateful and harmful. She's powerful and she's proud. And here we see she goes to war in all her power and glory against the Lamb. And that's no problem for the Lamb. And here's an important point we have to make about the world's system. Because it's based in evil and not good, because it hates the wisdom of God, therefore it loves death, by its very nature, it cannibalizes itself. We see this in woke culture. If you aren't woke enough today, because the goalposts moved while you were sleeping, you who once canceled now become canceled. Have you paid attention at all? We were canceling, now we got canceled, and there's disillusionment. Why? Because that's the nature of the world system. It cannibalizes its own. It's broken, it's bankrupt. And that's what is coming, is the beast will concentrate all power into one world government, and all will be told they must worship the beast. Now you may be saying, okay, so thanks, Pastor. What do I do with all this? Are you endorsing Trump or Kamala? That's not what I'm saying. Let me give you 4 practical things as to what you to do with all this. Number 1, know that God is sovereign over the governments of the earth. Y'all with me? Cling to the sovereignty of God. Know that he's sovereign over the governments of the earth. He knows the day and the hour for the coming to get his bride. He knows the day of the Lord and all that's coming. He's all of it's under his control. So we must trust his sovereign rule and reign. Therefore, if your guy or girl doesn't win, trust the sovereign plan of God. Number 2, step back and evaluate. Know that he's sovereign. Number 1. Number 2, step back and evaluate. Notice this. Notice how John is led to a place of wilderness and then shown by the Spirit these truths. Revelation 17:3a, and he carried me away in the Spirit into a wilderness. I love what Leon Morris says here. Dr. Morris says, throughout this book, the wilderness is a place for God's people over against the great city. It is the negation of all that the city stands for. And in the wilderness, one is safe from all that the city can do. It's only here, only in detachment from the great city, that God's people can see her as she really is. If they identify themselves with her, they will be blind to her essential nature. Some of y'all are like, did y'all just say go hunting in the country? Get out of the city. Separate yourselves and evaluate. Take inventory. Assess, am I more like the city of Babylon than I am the kingdom of God, the city of Jerusalem that is coming adorned as a bride for her husband? We've got to be willing to step back and ask hard questions of ourselves. Number 3, be separate. Be separate. Notice the call to come out and be separate from the ways of the world. Chapter 18, verses 4 and 5. Then I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, lest you take part in her sins, lest you share in her plagues, for her sins are heaped high as heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. The call is to come out and be separate, lest you take part in her sins. So we step back and evaluate. We then ask the question, Lord, show me the ways I'm more like Babylon than I am your kingdom. Where am I? Where have I gone awry? Where have I embraced the ways of this world? In my marriage, in my business, in my ethics, how I am a neighbor, in my sexuality. Number 4, get help. Get help. You may have taken part in mega porn. Can I tell you something? It's a trap set to enslave you, to enslave your mind, to enslave your brain, to keep you full of shame, to addict you. Mega porn, the great harlot. I want to make sure you know of my friends Mark and Beth Dennison. Mark and Beth run a ministry called There's Still Hope. Here's a little picture of their website. It's about recovery and restoration for those caught in sexual addiction. There's stillhope.org. There's stillhope.org. It's in the app notes down at the bottom. You'll see it there. Mark and Beth provide support. They help with 90-day programs to help people battling sexual addiction. There's a curriculum and meetings and recovery, and Mark works with men and Beth works with women, and they are a great, great blessing to many. He and I did our doctoral work together and connected from that point on, and just love them and what they're doing. There's stillhope.org. And if I can personally connect you to them, please let me know. But also in getting help, consider Stitch Ministries, stchm.org. Stitch Ministries. Stitch, as you know, is our counseling partner. And they offer counseling here on campus for free. They invite you to pay what you can, but their heart and hope is to walk alongside you. So you may have had a lot of trauma when it comes to sex and sexual issues or sexual abuse. You may be caught up in sexual addiction. Make an appointment. Go to stchm.org and make an appointment with them. And go sit with them, because what is kept hidden will keep you bound, but what is brought into the light will bring you freedom. And you don't have to tell everybody your stuff, but tell somebody your stuff. But if you're keeping it hidden, that's where the enemy wants you. He wants to keep you in shame. He wants to keep you bound. He wants to keep you locked up. And we've got resources available to you. I was made aware of Samson Society. I'm going to throw this in there. This is a Wednesday night men's gathering here on campus just to help guys who are battling sex addiction. What time does it meet? 6:30? 6:30? 6:30 here on campus. Second floor, all right? There's also a women's quilting thing, so don't get those two things confused. But I just had to go there, you know. But in all honesty, Samson Society will bless you. It will help you. It'll be a great resource as you walk with brothers in the journey. Just want to encourage you in that. Why? Because we want to live for our coming King. Because what's coming is amazing. It's what we long for, where every tear is wiped away. There's a new heaven and a new earth. A new Jerusalem coming down out of heaven from God.